All right. Well, thanks for joining. And as you come on, whether you're live or on replay, do me a favor. Let me know where you're watching from, what city, state, province in Canada, or province in Canada, what country. And we got all the platforms that are plugging in right now. So first of all, thank you because all of the comments and messages of what you've been getting from the lives that I've been doing have really held me accountable to really show up every single day to just share with you some things that hopefully encourage you and help you, break through to that next level. And so today we're going to talk about some very simple leadership principles that will help you break through to that next level. And so many people right now, we know what's going on in the world. You can't help but see it everywhere you turn. They're talking about what is coming. And so hope is not a strategy. We got to have a plan. We've got to have a strategy, but just crossing our fingers and hoping that things work out, that is not a strategy. Losers, they hope things work out. Winners make things happen. Losers wait and see what happens. That is not you. That is not me. And that is exactly why you're watching. Let me put this on focus mode so we don't keep getting these notifications. All right, so let's talk about when you're going through challenging times or any time. That's when leadership principles are so important because that's what helps you continue to not just go through, but to grow through those times. And when you apply leadership principles to your world, that's when you go from surviving to thriving. And I want to start with a couple leadership quotes from the best, John Maxwell. How many of you follow John Maxwell? And by the way, man, Instagram over here, you're showing everybody else up because the comments are slow coming in from YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. All right, there we go. So John Maxwell, the effectiveness of your work will never rise above your ability to lead and influence others. You cannot produce consistently on a level higher than your leadership. In other words, your leadership skills determine the level of your success and the success of those who work around you. Now, some of you may jump off going, hey, I'm not a leader. I don't even need to listen to this. Wrong. Every single one of us, we're all leaders. We're leading people every single day. Leadership is influence. You're leading your children, your grandchildren, maybe your spouse, your employees. So everything rises and falls on leadership, no matter if we look at ourselves as a leader or not, we should. Here's one more quote. Then I'm going to give you 3 simple tips. I'm trying to keep these short, brief, and to the point. When the leader lacks confidence, the followers lack commitment. When the leaders lack confidence, the followers lack commitment. So both of those quotes were from John Maxwell, Developing the Leader Within You, which, by the way, is a great place to start when you want to learn about leadership. But we're going to go ahead and get right into the 3. Number 1, before we can lead anyone else, we have to lead ourselves. We have to lead ourselves. Leadership is an inside-outside job. Few more, again, a lot of quotes that I say I've learned from John Maxwell, but one of the things that he says, a leader will tell but never teach until we practice what we preach. And we can't talk about what we don't do no more than we can come back from somewhere we've never been. So leadership is an inside-outside job. And that's why it's so important to continue to work harder on ourselves than we do in our jobs and our businesses. And by the way, with what's coming with the economy, now is the time that you work on yourself harder than you've ever worked before. I'm going to continue to reinforce that. I would set a goal. If you're working for a company, you become so dang valuable, they have to get rid of everyone else, and you're the last one standing because they can't afford to be without you. And because we get paid based on the size of the problems we can solve, the value that we bring to the marketplace. So we have to lead ourselves before we can lead anyone else. Leadership, to be credible and have impact, it has to start with us. And that is pretty simple. You cannot give what you do not have. And I love this one. We teach what we know, but we reproduce what we are. We teach what we know, but we reproduce what we are. So I knew that our kids, they watch what we do, more than what we say. Leadership is more of what's being caught than what's being taught, which I'll talk about that in just a second. I get ahead of myself. Couple more little bullet points on tip number 1. You can have uphill hopes, but downhill habits. You can't go uphill with downhill habits. You can't have good intentions without good actions. So the first very important tip when it comes to leadership principles is leadership is an inside-outside job. If we want to lead other people, we first have to lead ourselves. If we can't lead ourselves, we can't lead anyone else. And it's very simple, working on ourselves on a daily basis, getting a little bit better. It's about progress, not perfection. Don't worry about trying to have a drastic change overnight. Can you just get a little bit better? And again, I keep repeating this, but it's so important. It's what's going to encourage you when you have those down moments. 1% better a day is 37 times better in a year, not 37%, 37 times. So it's about progress, not perfection. And no matter what kind of results you want, you may want good results, but until you take good actions, that's never going to happen. We want to make sure that we're doing the right things consistently and persistently. We're keeping a good attitude, and we're focused on progress and not perfection, and knowing we're never going to be good in the beginning. We're going to be bad. Any person that I've ever worked with, any of my mentors, they all have the stories of when they got started, how bad they were. So for me, I don't know about you, but I'm like, hey, if I'm going to be bad before I'm good, I just want to hurry up and get it out of the way. Number 2, leaders understand proximity is power. I want to talk to you about 2 different ways this is important. Proximity to your dreams. You want to go out. I had a mentor of mine tell me years ago, he said, Darren, you want to run out into the future and visit your dreams, right? Engage all of the senses. You want to touch it, smell it, visualize all the things about your dreams. And then you want to come back and look for the stepping stones that you're going to need to take in order to get to those dreams. So go out and visit your dreams and come back and look for the stepping stones. You're going to visit your dreams hundreds and thousands of times before they ever become a reality. It is true. Your obsessions become your possessions. So that's why I love my wife. She didn't understand this when we first got married, but she's like, why do you want to drive through the parking lot again? You know exactly what that car looks like. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. I have to continue to revisit that car, that dream car, that reward goal that I'm going to have for myself when I hit this rank, bonus, income level. I want to sit in the car. I want to smell the new smell. I want to feel the steering wheel. I want to take it for a test drive. I want you to take a picture of me in front of the car so I can have it in front of me. And so I had to revisit that dream over and over and over again. And there's a lot of science behind that because we move in the direction of things we're familiar with. And what you think about, you bring about. Thoughts are things. What thou seest, thou beest. It's a magnet. It pulls us into the future to do the right activities to get that goal. So proximity is power. You want to go visit your dreams over and over and over and over and over again. I've toured homes that were mega mansions, right? Because I wanted to engage as many senses as I can to see, first of all, if it's what I really wanted. And then it became familiar became familiar with it, and I could see myself in that home. Now you may go, hey, well, Darren, I can't go visit a multi-million-dollar home. I can't do this. I can't do that. Your brain doesn't know the difference in reality, what you tell it. So when you visualize an experience, it's as if it actually happened. Your body produces the same chemicals and endorphins as if the experience actually happened. So you can experience an experience before you ever experience it. So proximity is power when it comes to your dreams. Continue to visit them over and over and over again. Your obsessions become your possessions. The other part of proximity is power are the people that you associate with. I've talked about this on almost every single live that I've done over the last 2 weeks. Why am I so intentional about who I associate with? Why do I continue to be very intentional and get around people that make me uncomfortable? that have done so many things like bigger than I have, because when you're around them, you catch what you're close to. You catch what you're close to. They think bigger. Right now, let me know in the comments. All right, the people that you hang around, we have one group of friends that, oh my gosh, the economy, the world is caving in. Like, people are not going to be able to afford anything. You know, the sky is falling all the time. They're living paycheck to paycheck, and they focus on the things that they can't control. They speak about things that are bad and they can't control, and that is contagious. It causes you all of a sudden have those self-doubts and that fear. However, when you switch, go hang around some wealthy people right now. The exact same time, they have a different perspective. They're saying things like, hey, you know what? We're going to go through the next 12 to 24 months, the most challenging times we've ever experienced, but there's going to be more people that need us than ever before. More people that are going to need a positive influence in their life, more people that are looking for solutions. And we're going to, yeah, it's going to be challenging, but it's going to cause us to stretch, to grow, and to serve like we've never served before. And the biggest transfer of wealth happens during recessions, during depressions, and during wars. We've got all of them. This is going to be a great time to make a positive difference and an impact in a lot of people's lives. We're going to accelerate what would have normally taken us so many years to get there, the next 12 to 24 months. If we do what most people won't do, when we start coming out of it, we're going to accelerate, compress time frames, shave years off of our learning curve, and have a life that most people only dream of. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. So when it comes to proximity is power, and you've got people speaking in your ear, which one of those conversations do you think is going to serve you better? The first one or the second one? It's the one that's talking about possibilities, not all the problems. So proximity is power. That's number two. And number three, leadership is visual. Leadership is visual. Have you ever had someone that they said one thing, but they did another? And you want to say to them, but you didn't because you're nice. Hey, look, your actions are speaking so loudly, I can't even hear what you are saying. I've been very fortunate to speak on stages with some of the best in the world. And I've seen how some people are on stage when they're speaking to the audience, they're one person. When they go behind stage, they're the total opposite. That's not integrity. When your words and your actions do not matter. Now, let me give you an example. John Maxwell, I was with him at his house for Christmas a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago. We were at an event in Florida, and I experienced him from a distance. I saw how he treated the person cleaning the bathroom the exact same as the person that was worth many millions of dollars in the other room. Because first of all, your income does not dictate you having more value as a human being. And he understands that. But most people would have not treated that person. Well, not most people, but some of the people that I've encountered, and you have too. But for him, he loved that person the same as he loved the other person. I'm like, man, John Maxwell is not just talking leadership. He doesn't just talk the talk. He walks the walk. Like, you don't have to listen to even what he's saying. You can watch what he does. And you know that is leadership. I met recently Patrick Bet-David. So I met some other people that I really look up to. And when I met them, it's like they looked right past me. They didn't know who I was, some of these people. And they just wanted to hurry up, shake my hand, take a picture, get out of the way. Patrick Bet-David, it was fascinating because I walked in, he engaged, he looked me in the eyes. He introduced himself. He wasn't trying to rush. He gave me a compliment, asked me what I did. And I'm like, man, I've had a lot of respect for him, but that just went through the roof because of how he treated me when there's nothing that he's looking to get from me. He's got thousands of people that will want to be doing what I'm doing right now, but yet he treated me like a human being. And so you know what? I'm a fan. Like, I'm a loyal fan. I'm a follower, and I appreciate that. So leadership is visual. No matter with our family, in business, it's more of what's caught than what's taught. I would rather watch a leader than listen to one any day of the week. Who's with me on that one? All right. Anybody, any leaders that you know of, put them in the comments. You're like, man, this leader, I watched them. They're a great leader. They're the same on stage, off stage. I would love that. Only positive. Just let me know that below. And if you want to confuse people, here's exactly what you do. You say one thing and you do another. That's how you confuse people. It's visual. When the leaders of an organization engage, it's more successful, right? So when a leader is involved in the organization, they understand it's more of what's caught than what's taught. They engage, they interact, then it makes all the difference in the world. So that's the tips for today. Just wanted to give you 3 quick leadership tips, because as we go through, can't just cross our fingers and hope and pray that things are going to be okay. When you apply leadership principles, you go from surviving to thriving. All of you are leaders, whether you think you are, you have a title or not. Leadership is not title. I've known people with titles, they're not leaders. Some of them, they were pushed up, but they weren't leaders. There were people that have generated income during 2020, during all the last crazy couple of years because of the circumstances. Now the income has come back down because eventually our income comes back down to our leadership ability, to who we are, not what we want. And now they're complaining because they feel like they're entitled to something when, hey, no, it's like a lottery winner. They didn't become a multimillionaire. They were given millions of dollars, and eventually the income's going to come back down to where they are. So now is the time to work on you. Become the best version of you that you possibly can. It's an inside outside job. And those are 3 very simple things that you can work on. And I encourage you to start today. So thanks for joining. Do me a favor. iwilluntil.com. If you go click on resources, there's a free planner that you can download that actually helps you start that dream building. It's got some a why worksheet that you can grab. And also, if you want to pick up my new book that we're officially launching on the 21st, you can pick that up on that site as well. And my speaking page for any companies or organizations that are looking for someone to come in and train their company. Make sure to pass that along. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And let me know if you're getting value from these quick little lives. I know it could be quicker, but I tend to want to over deliver every time I jump on. That's just who I am. And then if you're on whatever platform, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you tag someone. It makes me very happy. This morning I was seeing people going, hey, look, I tagged my friend that was going through a challenging time. I sent this to them. And they were very thankful that I did. That makes me happy and gives me encouragement to keep delivering the content to each and every one of you. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next training.